Hey guys, and how's it going? Maniac Mower here. Spring is in the area. It is the first week of March, although you wouldn't think that outside because there is snow on the ground. Over here in the house right now, I bring my stuff in the house during the winter to try to keep it out of the cold. For you guys that don't remember, we had those two rototillers. We ended up taking the Cyclone and the Simplicity. We brought them in and we fixed them up, and we put them away for the season. They're currently out in the building still. I haven't brought them in yet. I don't know if I'm going to or not, but I figured since we already had the tillers on the channel, we could go on ahead and bring a third tiller. This, I think, is a 2012, if I'm correct, Honda tiller. I bought it from Schlebaugh's, the same place I bought that push mower from in there. And then there's also the Green Craftsman. The push mower didn't start for whatever reason, so again, we got that going again. I should probably fire it up just to be sure it still wants to run. But back to this. I drained my gas out of them when I'm finished running them, so I know there's no gas in it. Hasn't been abused. I've been the only owner of it, so I know that it hasn't been abused. But need to check the air filter, need to check the oil. I know the oil's most likely about ready to be changed in it. We changed the oil, and I think we changed the oil in those two when we had them out there. I don't remember. I know I changed the oil in that Craftsman once before. Although, yet again, they don't get very many out. They don't get very much use during the winter or summer. So I think they both should be okay. But this one over here, I don't think I've ever changed the oil in it. And for someone who's up and up about changing the oil and stuff, I don't think I've ever changed the oil. Well, correction. I have changed the oil in this. I changed it, I think, a couple times after we got it, and then after, I just kind of forgot about it. It doesn't burn oil though, so I know it's got oil in it. That's good. Haven't brought the other two tillers in the house yet. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to leave them out in the barn. So, well, I'm already on 2 minutes. So, back to the point. Had those two tillers on the channel, so I thought we'd go on ahead and bring a third one on. And we'll pull this old Honda out. Shouldn't be very hard to get going again. I do drain the fuel out of them. I haven't checked the air filter yet. I haven't checked the... I know it has spark. Well, I haven't tested that theory yet, but I know it should have spark, so we should be okay there. Pulls over every time I've went to start it before it starts right up. So, I mean, there's really not much that could be wrong with this tiller. It runs, starts up, and goes good. So, let me go on ahead and we will take this out to the shop and we will get going on it. If I told you it was the first week of March, you probably wouldn't believe me now looking outside. It's pretty sunny, if you ask me. Okay, so we got the tiller in here currently. Before anybody asks, no, the mess underneath of it is not from this tiller. That is actually from the 68 112 I have. It is having some sort of issue with the rear main seal. I think the rear main seal on it's bad because it pisses out oil bad. It was blowing it out the crankcase breather. I went in there and I cleaned the crankcase breather out, and I found out the seal was leaking also, so that's fun. So let's go ahead and we'll get into this. Okay, so now we're onto the tiller. Let's go ahead and we'll pull that air filter. There should be a wing nut on there, but the wing nut at some point went missing. So we just put a bolt on there. There is a wing nut. I think there's a wing nut on the filter if I'm thinking of the correct tiller. This has we can compare new to old. Newer style compared to older. Personally, I prefer the older style. This tiller even is probably better than a modern day tiller. Oh. There is no air filter in here. That's good. Shit. What happened to the air filter? Where's that other motor? Maybe it's got one in there. Oh, that's always good. Let me go around real quick and see if I can find an air filter for that. I think I have one upstairs. Okay, I ran upstairs and grabbed a filter. This foam on here doesn't seem to be too good, so we may just end up taking that off. It's got a wretched smell to it, yeah. This foam is starting to disintegrate. It's got a gas smell to it for some reason. Yet again, it is older, so we're just going to go on ahead and take it off here. It should be alright like that, but we will keep it around just in case. It is dirty. I ran upstairs and I grabbed the wing nuts off that engine also that I pulled this off of. Again, I have no clue why this has no air filter in it, but I probably pulled it out at some point to change it and never did. So that's what the deal is behind that, probably. So we can go on ahead and put this back on. It's probably a real good thing I checked that. No, we gotta bolt this down. That's right. Seems like a real smart idea pulling that air filter and out and never putting a new one in it. Doesn't it? You're probably wondering why I have tillers if I don't have a garden. I like to have stuff here for if any of my neighbors need it, or somebody in the community who lives nearby me, they can put something up or ask if anybody's got a tiller, and I can go on there and say, hey, I got a tiller. I have let people use my tractors before, and those push mowers downstairs. That's another reason why I have those downstairs too. If someone else ends up needing them, I've got them. So just try to help out the community as much as I can, even though most people nowadays are assholes. But I got a couple of neighbors with gardens who I've borrowed this thing. I almost wonder if one of them pulled that filter out of there. I doubt it, but I think I pulled it out at some point to change it. Never got around to it. Choke is on, fuel is on. I think I ran it out of fuel if I remember correctly. It's missing a stud over here, it appears. Oh, that stud broke. So it needs another one of these studs. I think it should be okay. Doesn't seem to shake too much. It still has the other stud in there, so I think it'll be okay. It's been running like that for a while. Pull her over, make sure she locks. Yep. For some reason, this might need oiled. When it runs though, it'll suck it in, but just for right now, it's not going to, so we'll throw this back on here too, I guess, just so we have it. Where do we want to start with this? Let's go on ahead and we'll check the oil on here. I haven't checked the transmission oil on it yet either. I should probably do that on all of them, but, and if I remember correctly, this one has a dipstick. Not 100% positive of what these tillers are. I think they're front twine tillers. I've heard them called front twine and rear twine. You can call this one a rear twine because the wheel up here, where the other tillers, I think they're called front twine. This one I'm not quite sure what to call it. Ooh, that's nasty. Like I said, it doesn't burn oil. The oil actually doesn't look bad. We might be able to get away with using it, but like I said, I have changed the oil in it. before, just not recently. I don't know how much, I don't know if I even have enough oil to fill this thing up. That oil doesn't look half bad though. It's still, yeah, well, we'll keep an eye on it. We'll be easy on it until we, again, I'm not going to be using it for another several months, so, well, not several months. Summer's right around the corner, but you never do know. And I got those other two tillers. These Hondas are pretty reliable. This one starts right up. As soon as you go to pull it, no choke or anything, it just fires right up. So I'm hoping that's the same right now as before, because it hasn't ran in a little while. Maybe it hasn't ran in a few months. So should probably check the oil inside that transmission, but I think we should be okay with oil. I know it's got spark. Well, I don't know if it has spark. Where should we go from here? We should probably pull that spark plug. I probably should have done that when I had this off. We can get to it a little bit easier. Yeah, we'll go ahead and pull the spark plug. We'll check it. Make sure that it... I do know this motor, this tiller though, so I know it's a pretty good tiller, but I figured we'll go on ahead and make another video on it. Oh, that came off easy. Where's that plug at? This has one of those special plugs. Yep. Let me grab the puller. We'll get it out of there. I think this actually might have a bigger plug socket than what I have, so I don't know if this will work or not. We may need the smaller one, but we'll see. And then since we have it out, we'll go on ahead and check it for spark and make sure that everything on it works. There we go, it went on. Let's break that plug loose. Make sure that it, no, that broke loose easy. Pretty hard to turn for some reason. This might be, there it goes. It might have been this touching on something it shouldn't have been supposed to. Damn it, didn't mean to do that. Just want to get this. Yeah, it's turning over pretty easy, so once it comes loose, we'll pull it out. There we go. I know this motor hasn't been burning oil. There we go. I would say that looks pretty clean. Let's go on ahead. I will take it in there and clean it here quick. Well, then we'll check it for spark. We'll make sure it's got spark. Okay, I went in there and cleaned up that plug. Let's go on ahead and check this thing for spark. I'm gonna back you guys up. I gotta find a place to put it where you guys can see it. I'm really tempted not to. There's really no point to ground this at. Well, there are, but I don't think you guys would be able to see any of them. Here we go. That'd be good. Oh, there we go. Right there. Yeah, no, it won't stay. I wish it would stay right there. That'd be sweet. Bastard. Stay there. There. Don't move. Can you guys see that? I don't know if it'll want to stay right there or not. Oh, cool. Okay, let's try that. Ready? Got that plug all clean. Let's go on ahead and see if it will spark. Ready? I think I moved the camera. Yeah, I did. It's got spark. I'll pull it over for you guys to see. I don't know if you guys see it or not. This motor feels like it's got no compression. That ended up fixing itself, so that's good. That recoil's going in now. Let's go on ahead. We'll get this put back in. And then, once we get this thing put back in, I would say we could probably go on ahead, dump a little bit of fuel in it and see if she'll start, or how she'll start. Like I said though, it is a pretty reliable motor. I've never really had many problems with it, so I don't doubt it'll start, but we'll see. Of course, I'm going to end up jinxing myself. I think we're cross-threading. No, we're not. Okay, there we go. I think I'm hitting on whatever I was earlier. Again. Shouldn't be going in that hard. Huh, interesting. There we go, we're in. Okay, let's... Now it's going in. Okay. We'll get this tightened down right there. Make sure that went in straight, which it appears to have. I really do not like these motors because I don't like these spark plugs, but you know, they do the trick. So let's go on ahead. We'll dump a little bit of fuel in the... Should we dump fuel in the intake or should we dump fuel in the tank? I think we should just... Let's go on ahead and put it in the tank, I guess. Let's go find something to siphon gas out of. We'll put it in. And then there we go. Went in there and grabbed some fuel. Let's go on ahead and put some fuel in it. I'm really tempted to pull that head off of it because the motor had no filter on it. The only problem with that is this is an overhead valve system. I'd have to... It's not like the tractors. I'd have to adjust the valves if I did that. I personally am not a huge fan of the overhead valves, but they're a lot easier to adjust when it comes to it. There we go. Let's go on ahead and put the cap on it and we will see if she'll start. Okay, so we got the fuel tank filled up. We got gas in it. I would have filmed it, putting it back together, but I had to blow my nose, so let's go on ahead and we got her choked. Fuel's on. Let's see if she will start. Ignition switch is on. Yep. First full. Sounds like it's surging. It is cold though, you gotta remember. That belt seems awfully loose. You can watch it. That's not good. Actually, it might be okay. I forgot that this is a different setup than the other tiller. Let's put it outside. We'll let it warm up for a while. I don't want to fume out my barn. But we'll be back. Before we take it out, let's go on ahead and throttle it up and see if it'll throttle. It might still be too cold. I'll be back. Brought it in after running it. I let it run about an hour, or at least long enough to go out there and plow off the sidewalk. So let's go on ahead. And do I want to change the oil first, or do I want to? I think that oil should be all right. I don't remember when I changed it, but I know it was recent. I think I might have, well, nah. That belt, I noticed it had quite a bit of play in it. Well, it doesn't seem to now. It seemed to have a lot of play in it, as you can see. That might be normal, it might be okay. But I'm not going to worry too much about that at the moment. I do want to pull that cover off though and check that belt. Well, we might end up pulling that cover off and checking that belt just in case later on. Not quite sure what I want to do next. I'm tempted to pull that carburetor off and clean it, but it runs right now. Why not fit? Why bother? Well, I think I don't have any dirt to till with it right now. I know it'll till. Well, okay, I guess we gotta. I think I'm just gonna go on ahead and end the video here. We could do probably quite a bit more to it, but we know it runs, so we should be okay. All right, take care. You know what? There's something else I do want to do. Let's go on ahead and pull that recoil off there real quick and see if see what the deal is with it. Okay, put a new battery in the camera. I think I haven't had this apart before, but I think it's something similar to what the other tillers had. Okay, why is that screw spinning now? But I think if we spray some WD-40 in here, as long as the spring's not wore out, it should. Am I going to regret pulling this apart, or is this never going to run again? I'm already starting to get something pushing on it. Yeah, we probably better not. Well, here's what we could do instead of pulling that apart. We could spray it in. There we go. Something like that. I don't know if it gets in there or not. And then, yeah, I've already got something pushing on this cover. I guess we better not try anything with it. I was going to pull it off, but I don't really think I'm going to do that now. So we'll pull it over a few times now, since we put the WD, if you're wondering what I used, that's WD-40 in a Windex bottle. Works Works wonders. Get rid of the excessive. All right, ready? Oh shit. Okay. Watch as soon as I loosen that. Oh, I see our issue. We don't have our holes lined up. We gotta line up our holes. I forgot about that. Okay, let's get you lined up. There we go. Now it wants to recoil. Let me get. There we go. We got them lined up. Correction, we got one of them lined up. Okay. Now I think if I loosen it or tighten it, it should work. Right? I got another one of these I need to pull apart. We could pull it apart and see how it works. There we go. Look at that. I would say we fixed it. Hopefully. It's pulling over a hell of a lot better than it was. Although it's still not going in all the way, but that should be okay. I got another one of these upstairs we could pull apart and see how they work. I'm gonna tighten this. I just want to make sure this is tight to the point where it's not going anywhere. Okay, let's go ahead and put it back on there. Let's see if it recoils any better. Well, it's still sticking. Oh, it got caught. That string might be a little bit too long. It could be it too. But as long as it's not getting caught in the tines, see, it's going in. As long as it's not getting caught in the tines, I'm not too worried about it. Let's go on ahead and get this back on there. Okay, let's go on ahead and put this thing back on here. Now, if you guys don't remember, the way that the other tillers work, they're a little bit older. They have a ratchet style. I prefer that over this, but they're a little bit harder to maintain. Harder to remove off the flywheel in this. See if it'll, don't want it to start. Let's see if it goes in. Perfect, and it pulls over much easier. Okay, well, is there anything else? Yeah, actually there is. I want to adjust that, I want to adjust the RPM a little bit. It doesn't rev up high enough like it should. It used to rev a lot higher, but I think over time, what's it called, went back in the screw, the set screw. So we're going to bring it back out. Of course, we are going to do this while it's running out to where it should be. So let me get you guys set up and then we'll do that. I don't know how well you guys noticed it, but while the motor was running before, it's got for whatever reason, it's got a surging problem where it'll sit there and it'll surge. And it doesn't die or anything, but it just has a surge. I'm not sure why. There's a video that shows how to adjust it to get rid of that surge. Let me go on the YouTube somewhere. Let me go on ahead and I'll start this up real quick. And we will adjust that. Ready? I think we got her right about there. Still not 100% sure why it surges like that. There's a way to fix it, and it looks like that spring came unhooked. The spring right here, now that I'm actually looking at it, I see that, so I'm not sure what that, I think it hooks up to this. I'm pretty sure, so we'll hook that. I wonder if that could have anything to do with it. We'll hook that back up. Let me grab a flathead or screwdriver so I can get the, I doubt it. There's something inside the carburetor that needs to be adjusted. I think if I was to clean the carburetor, it would get rid of that surge. There we go. We got it. Let's try that, I guess, and see if it fixed it. Ready? Oh, she's still off. Ready? I think we fixed it. It was just a spring. Well, okay, I guess sometimes it's not always the carburetor that has the problem. I guess let's go on ahead and we'll change that oil since we've had it running. We might as well. Just gotta find how to get to it. Now, here's the question. How much of a pain in the ass is this going to be to get it back in there? There we go. We got it. Yep. Two wheels like I thought. Okay, now we need something to put under here, or it'll hold itself up. Okay, cool. Went in there and I grabbed a crescent wrench. I wanted something big, or I didn't want something overkill. I had a whole bunch of big crescent wrenches, but no little ones on the wall. I just ran up front and I grabbed one from a tractor that I was working on. Let's see if we can get this bastard. Okay, what the hell? Damn it. There we go, it's loose. And we can tip it, which is nice. What we'll do, we should grab the smaller one. Ready? Yuck. A couple hours later, I just came back out here to check on it, and she's drained, so I put her back together. Still dripping a little bit, but should be okay. I haven't wiped it off yet. It's not dripping much, but it's just about enough. So, glad to have all the oil out of it. That just looks really yucky. I don't see any metal in it, so that's a good sign, I guess. Let's go ahead and we'll put the front wheel back on it. Yeah, I think we can do that without it getting in the way of filling it. Well, we should just fill the motor up instead, and then we'll take the dipstick out. There is going to be oil on the dipstick still, but see, it is, well, it'll dry off. Stick it back in there so I can show you guys there's no oil left in the motor. Ready? Yep, that's nice and dry. There's some on the sides from it touching this here. I'm not sure how much oil to have in there. They have it up to the threads, so we'll put it up to the threads. For those of you who wonder, on these small engines, I just fill them right up to the, I just usually fill them up to the threads. That's about the full line on these. We may need a funnel. Yeah, we may need a funnel. Okay, let me grab a funnel real fast.
Okay, I'm back. Let's grab the funnel. I'm sitting here wondering if I should just put oil in my... I have some quart-size oil things. I'm almost wondering if I should put oil in them. Just to have... so I know that I can count my quarts. This should hold about a quart or two. So I went ahead. With these small... Is it leaking? Oh, look at that. It's got a leak. No, it doesn't. Once I start seeing oil drop, that might have been what was there. Hopefully. Okay, whatever. I can't tell, that's the thing, because... I got everything. Oh. See where oil levels at. I hate to come back out here and find out that's leaking. Should be about full by now. Oh shit. Okay, I think we're full. Bucket. There we go. Oh, we got some new oil in there too. Same as used. There's still not a lot in there, but just about enough. Okay, so that should be okay. I don't think we'll have too much of a problem with that being just a hair over full. We'll let it drain itself down to where it should be. I wish I'd have known it was gonna do that, but can't know everything, I guess, right? I don't think I had that much in there either. I was focusing on this right here, waiting to make sure it didn't leak. I could put the other thing, that's what I'd much rather do. Let's put this back over here, just, oh, I quit. Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and wipe this up, I guess. I think we got it about drained. Stick that in there to absorb some of it. There we go. Oh, come on. Okay, well, it's fine. So, we know it's full. Let's put it back on there. I think it should be okay. As long as we let what was in there extra out. We'll try firing it up here soon. Here in a minute, we'll fire it up and let the new oil splash around. It hasn't been very long since it was changed, but actually, I'm not quite sure how long it's been since that was changed. Okay, let's get this put back in. I'm going to flip this around to the killing point so it's easier to put on there. I don't have to lift it. There we go. You bastard. Give me a second. Come on.
Okay, so we got that all on there now. Some stuff just doesn't want to cooperate. Let's go on ahead, I would say, and we'll fire it up. Let it get a taste of that new oil. Let me take this out of here and put it on the back on the oil container. Okay. Okay, let's go on ahead and get this thing started. Let's make sure it'll start up and everything sounds and runs good. Ready? What do we want to do? I really want to pull that carburetor off. Probably shouldn't. Well, I think I'm going to go on ahead and end the video here, and this time I'm going to go on ahead and end the video here. So, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.